I want to switch things up a little bit. I want to talk about how to be a woman that he will never forget. And this is the thing. Any man who's dated me, whenever they reach out, because they always spin the block, never talks about the things that we may have done together or the things that we did, but he always talks about how I made him feel. And see, that's the thing. That's the key. As women, we all are different, and there's something unique and about you that will make you unforgettable. And it's not about your service, but it's about how you make him feel about himself when he is in your presence. And we're going to talk about that today. Welcome to Heal the New Sex, where we discuss all things healing, self-love, and relationships. My name is Cynthia, and you may need to get a paper and pen so that you can kind of evaluate yourself and what is it about you that makes you unforgettable. But before I talk about this with you today, I want to let you know that next month, the month of love for February, I'm doing group coaching every Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern. So the link is down below in the description, and it's also in the pinned comment. So if you want to do some coaching next month, I know for some women it may be a little hard, like I ain't got no Valentine's, Cynthia. I'll be your Valentine all week long, all month long. So select a Saturday that you want to work with me, and spots are filling up. So you want to go ahead and select a Saturday that works for you. Spots are limited to 20 women per Saturday, okay? So select one that works for you. But let's talk about how to be a woman that he never forgets. I'm telling you, it's really about how you make men feel. If you know how to really encourage a man and speak life into him, if you know how to show up as supportive but not sacrificing, you're gonna have men eating out of your hand. Okay. I don't know if I ever told this story, but I remember years ago, it was like 7 years ago, I got in a car accident, and my insurance company at the time once they totaled the car, their policy was that they only give you 3 days with a rental. And I remember it being 11 o'clock at night, and I was racking my brain on how I was going to purchase a car, because it was middle of the week. And I called an ex who sold cars, and I told him it was 11 o'clock at night, and I was like, I got in a car accident, I need a car. And he was like, okay, no problem. The next morning, purchased the car, and he drove that car 2 hours to me. And he had his mom follow him, and he was like, I told my mom all about you and when we dated, how you treated me, because that's what it's about. It's about speaking to the little boy in him. Listen, every man has a king, a fool, and a boy in him. And if you master when to speak to which at what time, it's going to be different. Okay. So let's talk about the woman that he'll never forget. One, she's authentic. Okay. He has never experienced you before, but in being authentic, you have to show up in confidence. Okay. And authenticity even has to do with not just, not just how you look, but your internal qualities. What is different about you? Authentic women that I love. I love and I adore. One of them is Jill Scott. I love me some Jill Scott. I love how sensual she is. I love how she interviews, how she tells stories, because she's a storyteller. She is a very authentic woman, very comfortable in her skin. She feels like a warm hug when you hear her talk. Like, to me, she reminds me of, like, when I see her talk, like brown sugar and honey, and like, just like, you ever had a woman that you just want them to wrap their arms around you? She looked like she give good hugs. She looks like, whenever you with her, that she makes you feel comfortable and at home. Like, she is a good host, right? Men love and are attracted and drawn to authenticity. They're drawn to softness. They're drawn to women that feel warm to them. They're drawn to that. You may see certain people right now that there's, I'll Be Sure is with the comedian. I think her name is Lunel. And there are people who are like, they don't, but Lunel is a very authentic and confident woman. She looks like she's a woman that's very warm and very inviting. She looks like a woman that, even though in her comedy she comes off as very strong, she knows how to be very soft with men. She looks like she knows how to speak life into a man that's going through a hard and difficult time. And that's something that he said, that when he wasn't well, that she showed care for him. A woman that's able to show care is unforgettable. It's unforgettable, right? This woman knows how to speak honesty in a way that he is able to receive it, right? She challenges him, but she does it in such a way that she still protects his ego, okay? She laughs freely. Now, I done told you, when I laugh, it's, right? I can snort, and I do. She doesn't apologize for her passions, her depth, or her emotions. I like April Mason. I think she's also a great example of a woman that's very authentic, a woman that's soft, a woman that's sensual, but a woman that knows how to speak the language of men, and they hear her. If you learn how to speak to the boy inside of a man, and let me tell you how to do that, because I have a little son. What many women miss as relates to men is that there is a way that men desire for women to communicate with them. Little boys who have healthy relationships with their mothers are often praised by their mothers. All right. You ever seen a little boy? He will go get a weed and give it to his mom. And she goes, oh my gosh, this weed. She makes a big deal out of it. Little boys ain't got no muscles, but they can be 1 or 2 years old. And you say, show me your muscles. And he's like, Little boys peacock for their mothers. If you speak to the little boy, he performs for you. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you fixed that for me. Thank you so much. I have been struggling to get it done, and then you came and you get it. Oh my gosh, I just appreciate you. Oh wow, you brought that water up for me. Thank you so much. I couldn't carry it. Now some of you are like, Smitty, I do not want to do all that. I get it. But in this conversation, we're talking about how to be the woman that he doesn't forget. I've also had some women say, when I do this, when I teach them about this in coaching, like, is that manipulation? No, you're just speaking to a different part of him. The same way when you whip up a good meal, he's like, girl, this is the best meal I ever had. Please don't tell my mama. You like, okay, I won't. But that does something for you, okay? Listen, this woman who's authentic, she doesn't mold herself to fit into a man's preferences. She invites him into her world. And that's the thing I love about Jill Scott, is that any man who's with Jill Scott wants her for her. She is a beautiful woman. And over the decades that she's been in the limelight, she hasn't changed who she is. Even when she's lost weight, right? She hasn't lost so much weight that we don't recognize her. Like, we see women really trying to morph into what a man wants. But this woman, she invites him into her world, all right? And here's the truth that most women were never taught. Men don't forget women who felt real. They forget women who were replaceable because they abandoned themselves. There are some women who you look at and that man cherishes her. Look at Cheryl Lee Ralph. And she's been married for 20 years, but you could tell by how he looks at her that he cherishes her. And she is a very beautiful woman. You know what I'm saying? Even her voice is very unique. And since being on Moesha, the way that she shows up, I just love that. I love that. I love how she exudes strength, not in a way that challenges men, but you know that she's strong, right? Okay. These women build a strong foundation. Unforgettable women have something in common. They have a strong sense of self-worth that existed before before the relationship. They were confident before the relationship. They knew what they need, want, desired, and deserved before they invited this man into their world. They're not waiting for a man to make life meaningful. Some women, and I mean no disrespect when I say this, are like, I'm going to buy a house when I get a husband. I'm going to do this when I get a husband. This woman is not living a life waiting for a man. She lives the life that she wants. And then she invites him in. And guess what? She's comfortable and confident that even if a man doesn't show up, she's living a life that's worth living. Okay? She has joy, purpose, routines, and standards. She prioritizes her happiness. Have you prioritized your happiness? Or are you waiting for someone to make you happy? She protects her peace. She knows that she is peace, that she brings peace. And if a man comes and he's chaotic, she knows how to leave that situation, okay? She doesn't chase connection, but she allows alignment. She's interested in relationship only in which there's reciprocity, okay? This kind of confidence is magnetic because it's not loud, it's grounded. And when a man encounters a woman who doesn't need him to feel whole, he feels it. And I've talked about anxious attachment and avoidant attachment. And sometimes we are dating from a place of deficit. And that causes us to accept certain men. If you're looking for a man to make you feel whole, in the end, right? If he can make you feel whole, he also can make you feel at a deficit. A woman who's unforgettable. A man wants to lock her down quickly because he knows, not the whole, I don't want you to need me, that type of thing. But he knows that this woman truly, 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 truly is an asset. He knows that this woman is confident. This woman is secure. This woman is love. This woman moves in a way that he's never experienced before. And he wants to be with her. He himself is not dating from a deficit. He himself is not dating from a place of wanting to be whole, but he himself is looking for his other half, his rib, okay? She knows how to cultivate real connection. She knows it's not about chemistry, but it's about presence. I remember years ago, and I've shared this story, I forget her name, Dr. Hale? I think her name is Hale. Mentioned walking in the room and someone say, do you know when you walk in the room, it's as if you suck up all the air? And she said, what is a queen supposed to do? Okay. This woman has presence about her. When she steps in the room, there could be hundreds of women there, but the men gravitate to her because there is that, there's that something about her, and you have to identify what that is for you. Okay. An unforgettable woman knows how to connect without losing herself. She listens not to fix, not to perform, but to understand. She asks thoughtful questions. R.C. Blake always says, a queen asks questions only a king can answer. She remembers what matters to him, what's important to him. But here's the key. She's just as curious about whether he can meet her emotionally. Connection isn't about overgiving. It's about mutual exchange. Reciprocity, shared moments, meaningful conversations. I love an intellectual man. A man that can have a good conversation. That is so attractive to me. That is so attractive to me, okay? Experiences that feel intentional, not forced. And I think for many women, as it relates to the conversation about coffee date, you want a man that's able to create an experience for you, right? But I also want you to be creating experiences for yourself as a single woman. And before you even have dating, because there are a lot of women who are waiting for a man to create something for them that they haven't created for themselves. You have to create it for you first. And then the two of you join together and create a meaningful experience, okay? Men remember women who made them feel seen, not managed. This woman also has mastered the art of intrigue, okay? Which I think Jill Scott has. I think she's an intriguing woman. I think of Dorothy Dandridge also. I can imagine she was an intriguing. If you look at some of the women of the past, they were very intriguing. Yes, was their beauty attractive, but they also mastered a certain level of allure, right? Mystery is not silence. Intrigue is not emotional unavailability, but it's depth. All right. She inspires growth, not by nagging, but by example. She challenges him intellectually. She has perspective that make him think. She doesn't overexplain herself. She doesn't overextend to be understood, but she allows a man to discover her layer by layer. Something that women also often do, and you have a hard time not doing this, is you'll meet a man and you'll tell him everything up front. You don't give him the opportunity to get to know you. You don't give him the opportunity to get to know you intentionally. Instead, you give him everything up front. And I want to challenge you to slow down and not do that. Allow him to be curious about you. Allow him to ask questions about you. And you answer. And you may answer very coyly. Is coyly a word? You may be very coy in your answer. Let me see if coyly is a word. I don't think it's a word. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yes, it is. Maybe that vocabulary in. All right. I know that's not a word, though. I know that's not a word. Okay. Proud of me. All right. Right? You are allowing him to discover you. You want to look at yourself like a treasure hunt. Right? He should be wanting, I'm trying to think of a movie. I can't think of a movie that demonstrates this, but like there should be, we talk about wanting to be, pursued, but are you giving him something to pursue? And I'm not talking about sexually. I'm just talking about as it relates to who you are mentally and emotionally. And sometimes we give access to ourselves emotionally so quick that it does you a disservice. You are putting yourself out there and being vulnerable in a way that doesn't make you feel safe. Okay, so you want to address that. All right. Now let's talk about leaving a lasting impression. This is what some women get wrong. A woman is not unforgettable because she stayed through mistreatment. She's unforgettable because she loved without abandoning herself. A man will never forget the woman who chose herself over him, who knows her value and her worth. Look at Rihanna and how Drake still talks about her all these years later. Why? Because she was able to choose herself over the relationship. She understood her worth and her value. She understands how, when she is in this man's life, how it will change him for the good. It reminds me of that song where Beyonce said, "Let me upgrade you," right? And in that song, she talks about all the things that she can do to change this man's life in a magnificent way. And leaving a lasting impression sometimes means being able to honor yourself. Men are quick learners. They're very intelligent. And so the one that got away is the one that made the choice to choose herself. Okay? This woman is supportive but not self-sacrificing, understanding but not self-betraying, warm, but she still has boundaries. She expressed appreciation genuinely. Sometimes one of the most difficult breakups for men is the one where the woman says to him, "I love you. I care about you. But there's more I see in you. And I can't be with you until you make the decision to tap in to the more that is you." She's a woman that teaches him about himself. She's a woman who will hold him to a standard that he may not be ready for or willing to do the work for. But she doesn't hold him to the standard and stay. She says, "I love you enough to allow you to do your work. And if there should be a time that you've done the work and I'm available and you're available, then maybe we can pursue this. But if that time should never come, that's okay too." She a bad mama jamma. I'm trying to tell you, she's a bad mama jamma. Whether the relationship lasted or not, she honors herself. This is the kind of woman that men don't forget, because she doesn't disappear inside of the relationship. She doesn't lose herself inside of the relationship. She still maintains her identity. She still loves and dotes and cares for herself. She still considers herself. This is the type of woman that's unforgettable. Okay? So your job is not to be unforgettable to him. Your job is to be fully expressed, fully embodied, and deeply aligned with yourself. The right man won't forget you, and the wrong one won't get access to you long enough to try. Because let me tell you something. This is the type of woman that every man wants, but every man is not going to rise to the occasion to be with her long term. And so now you have to make the decision, right? How are you showing up in your relationships? Okay, y'all, FYI, that's a burn from radiation. Because every time I put my neck up, that look like a hickey. No, the people burn me. Okay, all right, and people burn me. I'm being authentic and unforgettable, right? So I want to hear down below from you. Are you working to be the woman that a man will not forget? And even if it's the man you're currently in a relationship, like, or is it like, does he tell you, like, I've never dated a woman like you? Does he express his gratitude for you? When you challenge him as it relates to how he thinks, does he come back to you and does he say, you know what, you were right? Your perspective of that changed how I view and how I see that. Okay? Thank you so much for being with me today. I love you so much. Don't forget, right? Group coaching for the month of February. It's going to be in the description. It's going to be the first pinned comment. This is Healed and Sexy. My name is Cynthia.